I hope you've been having as much fun as I have on this episode. There've been a lot of exciting things happening, like drilling and grinding and unbolting things and cutting out windows. So let's do a quick recap and get this one out of the way. So if you're like me, you're looking forward to the end. Got the trunk off, the doors off, the front and rear glass is out. That went without incident. I was glad to not break or chip either of those. You can see them leaning on the hood over there. Front of the car is all taken apart. The only thing left is the bumper, and there's not really any reason for me to remove that at all. Yeah, that was probably the most exciting thing right here, was removing these brackets that used to be the base for the seats. Knocked out a couple of the brackets for the rear seat too. Man, it was probably worth it to save 2 ounces of weight. Whatever, it cleans it up. I'm probably going to be glad I got some of those out of the way when I'm crawling around back here installing harnesses and stuff. So the HVAC is gone, as you can see. The steering column, all of the chassis harness is out of the cabin now. Got rid of the levers that are getting replaced and that airbag module. So yeah, we are making progress. It feels like it's been really slow because I spent a lot of time trying to work on that seam sealer over there, and yeah, it's just been a lot of tedious work recently. Sorry, I'm probably pointed right through the door opening over there on the other side. Let's crawl in here and take a closer look. Sorry. It's I'm getting old, and I make a lot of noises when I sit down on hard stuff and bend my body in ways that used to not bother me so much. Anyway, enough about me. Let's talk about her. Her being the car here. So yeah, we got most of the seam sealer knocked out along this lower sill panel. Why we're doing that, you might ask? Or maybe you know why we're doing this, but I'm going to explain it for the 3 people who watch this who don't know. We are going to seam weld parts of the car to reinforce some of the weaker parts of the chassis. So this whole floor pan is basically unsupported, other than maybe the transmission tunnel. So tying these panels in with the rest of the car by seam welding it or reinforcing the panel points will help add a little bit of rigidity to an otherwise unrigid portion of the chassis. Because, I mean, the cage will tie all of the front and back and top together, but you don't really run any cage on the bottom of the car because the frame rails are under here. So, I mean, it's not like it's totally unsupported, but yeah, whatever. It helps add rigidity, it helps stiffen the chassis, and it helps the car not fall apart when you're constantly pounding it on stage. So that seam welder seam sealer needs to come off so we can go in there and stitch weld or seam weld that. And yeah, it's tedious work. It's time consuming. It's dirty. It's awkward. It's not the easiest job in the world, but it needs to be done. And if Ryan does it, it costs me money. If I do it, it costs me time. So whatever. I might as well do it. I got it here. And yeah, whatever, I'll do what I want. So, speaking of Ryan and doing what I want, we had a discussion semi-recently where we talked about when we were going to bring the car up there, and we're aiming for the middle of September. I put a deposit down, and I'll be delivering it to him in a couple weeks, and it's expecting to be got a sliver in my hand, metal sliver. anyway, we're expecting it to be a pretty quick turnaround, couple weeks, and he should have it done, and I'll be picking it up sometime the first week of October. And like I said last time, it's not really probable that I'll make it to LSPR as a driver, but I'll be co-driving for Bill. And we're looking forward to having a good time up in the Keweenaw and the western Upper Peninsula. Yeah, next time we're out here, it'll be a lot more exciting. We'll have a better update. We'll have big news about how the cage turned out. And we'll probably do some paint work and just start swapping everything over. So hopefully, after we're done removing all that seam sealer and all this goop around the windscreens, it should be better work, and it should pick up and not be so drab and boring. So I apologize, but like I mentioned, this not everything about race cars is glamorous, and sometimes you got to do the nitty-gritty stuff and make it happen. So thanks for checking it out, thanks for bearing with me, and we'll see you next time here in Dexter's Laboratory.